For many years, we have explored large and small bunkers and forts. We have seen the Ostwall and the Westwall bunkers, yet many of the German bunkers from the war have been destroyed or blown up, or at least had everything ripped out of them, always making it hard to figure out exactly what was what and what was where, all the different parts and components. Fortunately, an extremely dedicated group of people have spent many years piecing together one of the large B-werk bunkers, together keeping it all original. The B-werks are the large two-floor bunkers which were the backbone of the east and west wall. This one is situated in the third line of defense, with flamethrowers, mortars, machine gun domes, manned by 90 men. So today we're going to go through it, room by room, and go over what was what. And I must say, I am really, truly impressed by the know-how, knowledge I found here. And fortunately, he's also a teacher, and it shows we have some learning to do. So let's go. I'm just dying to see the difference. I see a pit, I see a firing position, close defensive. And I see a drop door too.
And it's working.
And it's working. And I thought the only one that worked in the world of those were somewhere else. I'm so happy.
Ours never stopped working. It's working since 1938.
Really?
Yes.
So this is original working?
Yes. We are a National Heritage Site.
You can't paint it?
We can paint it, but only if there is a special company to find out which was the color and to mix the colors. So
but you don't want to paint it. It has to look like this. This looks authentic. If it was clean, it wouldn't be the same.
We have a concept, and we have rooms that could be repainted, and there have to be rooms that should stay in their original state, because we want to show how it looked when it was new, and also we want to show how it is now after the war.
And this just gives, to me, this just adds more environment than a nice, neat, clean. Had the rolling doors. Of course, I don't have to tell you all that everything here is original, because we already figured that out the way in. But the drop door works and it's original. I mean, how stupidly cool is that? Original color, worked since the war. Can you wrap your heads around that? Paint this. That looks familiar.
This is the missing trapdoor.
That's the missing trapdoor?
Yes, we have two entrances, two trapdoors, and this one is missing, so you see the pit, 3.5 meters.
Oh, well, officially, this is the first time I've just seen a pit where I can see the floor, because it's always full of water or crap or dead mosquitoes.
Or blown up.
Or blown up. So that's the other entrance, of course it is.
Yes.
So they never installed it?
They did, but after the war, to get the steel,
I love it. I love that it's original. I love that that's original. That's brilliant. That is so brilliant.
So I have.
That's brilliant. So that's there it is. And these are original too.
Yeah.
I always thought there was going to be a little table here.
No. This was for this personal equipment storage. And no table. Why should they use a table here?
Yeah,
this is to defend the second entrance.
And this wouldn't be a heavy MP. This would be an MP, not a heavy MG.
Or an K98.
Yeah, to stick something out of there.
So you have the control unit for the doors. Green door open, red door closed. You have the bell, which you can ring from the outside, and if you
need to get in, yeah.
Yes.
So that's the original setup.
Yes.
I hope you're all paying attention because none of you have seen this before. Not even in the Ostwall museums that they have that set up. You have done a very good job.
They controlled if they had permission to go inside the B-werk bunkers, because not every soldier had the permission to go inside these bunkers because they were top secret at the time.
Of course.
And there were 6 soldiers here, and they were here 24/7 with 2 shifts or 3 shifts. We have this black spot to avoid that the white wall is reflecting when the light is on and it's dark outside.
So the walls would normally be white, but when you open the little hatch, that's just for the visual background from the observation. God damn it, I'm glad I came here. You don't see that on the ruins, that's just gone. That's.
I don't know if you know the photographies of Westwall. Oftentimes there is a wall picture of Hitler hanging here, but we have nothing found. We have rooms where we think that there was a picture, but not here.
I don't think it was mandatory. I think that it would be good policy if you want promotions, I guess.
So if you never saw something like this, you will lose your mind if you see the other rooms. This one is just the raw setup of the communication devices. It's not repainted, it's just cleaned a little bit, and when you see other rooms, yes, really lose your mind.
I like that.
So, preparation room for the MG turret. 9 soldiers in here, the same 9 soldiers that were inside the MG turrets. And yes, if the alarm bell rings, everyone had to go up. One machine gun they always had in their room. They have to take it up and down every time because it was mandatory to use it outside if it was necessary.
You seem to be short one platform. But I never seen it sectioned.
That's the reason why we won't install the platforms in this turret.
Oh shit! I mean, that is so cool. Of course they sectioned them off. It would be easy to call them out, but color sectioning, that is brilliant. And that's original too, isn't it?
Yes. There was I found a rule book from 1933, and at this time they defined 6 colors which are very good to see their differences even if it's very dark, and this is the exact colors. Normally they did use the green for water pipes, the blue for air pipes, the reddish one for some kind of acids, the gray one I just forget, and the yellow one was for uncleaned air. And it's the same color code as all the pipes inside the bunker, and you will see them. We have the periscope, the telephone, we have everything. Just one thing is missing, the lower platform.
The lower
platform, and that's the problem. Most of the bunkers are built in A, so you have 3.5 meters of concrete, and then you did not have a lower platform made of steel, but made of concrete, so these are very rare. And I personally know only 3 of them, one at IJmuiden in the Netherlands, one at Panzerwerk 717 in Westwall, and one is around here. A place for batteries, and there are also battery lines to the room next to there where you could store another 2 batteries, because these searchlights for the turrets had 300 watts, and to have 300 watts and 12 volts is yes, you need power.
So the searchlights, were they in the dome or?
They, I think they were stored somewhere here in one of these two rooms, and if they needed them, they transported them up. And there's a connection point where you can connect them with bare wires, and you also had a device to this was here to switch between batteries and the 24-volt system from the engine rooms. I have the observation points where you can attach the periscopes, and we also have a periscope. But yeah, this is our task for this summer to complete the room.
You actually have the periscope?
Yes.
I don't have to tell you how rare they are.
A two-line telephone, it's very rare. One line was for the is going up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could use like a headset, like this one. And one line was connected somewhere here, so you can speak to two persons, or you can speak with from up here to two other lines. So maybe you can speak simultaneously to the grenade thrower and to the machine gun.
From the bunker there was communication to the field army?
You could have do this. Mostly it was communication between the bunkers. This is for the batteries, and here you can switch for battery or to the 24 system from the engine rooms. And they needed a lot of 24 volts devices, like lamps, like the telephones, like the searchlight, also the lights inside the periscope. Everything was made because the bunkers in the forest did not have their own engines, and they needed batteries. So everything a small bunker could also had to be battery powered. So this is some kind of the original map from this region, and this is we found the plan of a day from the 28th of October from 1944. It was found here, and we did a copy of this. And there's some interesting things, like you have education here, and to turn with or without your guns, and to deconstruct and reconstruct your guns. Then education, who do I call, when do I call who, and also what we call Ehrenbezeugung is you will say someone is very good. I don't know how to
recommendations and praise and yeah.
Yes, and then you have from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock swimming in the local swimming pool.
This is local swimming, of course there is.
Yes, and that's what they did when the Americans came close. Swimming? Yes.
Well, it's not like the Americans were sneaking up on them. Well, I guess they were.
So, and yes, last week I ordered some of these original Stabilo Swan pencils. I had a list which colors and which pencil type. This is color blue, this is green, this is red. Every pencil had a number which they used for their maps.
We are in Germany.
We are in Germany.
We are in Germany.
I found some of them at eBay, and they're coming this week, and so we will have a lot of pencils here next week.
So the commander was sitting in there, he was sitting here.
This is the room of the commander.
Yeah.
Field grade for the troops outside, commander of the bunker with his secretary. And next to here, there was the communication devices. So if there was some task coming in here, you could give it through this hole to the commander of the bunker. He can sort out what is for him, and the other things you will give to the field grade commander. You don't have to leave the room to command this B-werk bunker.
You have done a hell of a job.
We like the little ovens, and the cabling is correct, and the boxes are correct. And this is absolutely brilliant.
So to show you how we work, we got this door with the original color, but the frame of the door was missing. But we found one in a garden hut in the city of Merzig, and yes, the garden hut was demolished, and we got those frames, but they were painted green. And it doesn't look good if they're painted green, so we repainted them to look like the color of the original door. That's what we did.
And not only the
newly painted.
I know, I was going not only the color, but the patina as well.
Yes. It's the same with this, it's repainted.
You know, next time I do a war film, I'm going to come hire you for the set dressing.
We have someone who is very talented in making patina, so he took this one and let it fall down, and he said, oh, maybe it was falling down in 1938, and then
entirely possible.
Like original. And so this is also repainted and made the patina again, and also the beds. If you have someone whose job is it to restore historical things, you're the winner. And he had some kind of, I don't know what he is using, he only said family secret, and after a week they look like that. So in this room, National Heritage Authority said it's not possible for you to repaint it, so everything has to look old, because if you have an unpainted room with original paint but freshly painted inventory, there is some kind of inconsistency.
I'm with them on that. I'm absolutely with them on that.
Yeah, I think you never saw this 24-volt plug socket.
I think
it's very rare. We don't have original. We have some demolished lower part. But when I visited the Rheinmetall Museum, also it's in the Lüneburger Heide, it's on their manufacturing site. It's not an official museum, but they have an M19 mortar there, original. It's stored there because it's there. And there are two of those 24-volt plug sockets, and I measured them, and then our model builder made one of them. Also with this we have one original, and the rest is remodeled.
All right. Ooh. So this is the communication room?
Yes. Yes. This is also for charging the batteries. It's an original from it was in a car repair shop and was used to load batteries for old cars, but it's original Wehrmacht equipment, and it was on eBay, so we bought it there. Yes, Ladegleichrichter to load the batteries. The energy came from the engine room, and then you could load 2 or 3 batteries at once. Then you have the cabling system from the Festungskabelnetz, so they had 10,000 kilometers of cables around the Westwall area, and it's coming inside the bunker from here. Then it's connected. There are fuses for every line inside the cable, and this is the main switchboard. And here you have the switching board where you could connect 30 lines at once. And unfortunately, we had it here until this Saturday, because we made a copy of it. I went to Scheveningen to get measurements, and we rebuilt it. We have a laser cutting company which does cut us the switchboard panel plate, but I can show you pictures.
Where am I going?
Here.
Here?
Yes.
Right. Actually, that would be straight, but never mind.
This is the second. Yes, to look up in the other shaft.
So you're restoring this to...
Yes. Sometimes if we have the lower platform.
Of course, yeah. See, oh, you can still see the colors though.
Yes, but for us, we decided to reconstruct this turret with the platforms because its ceiling is not in a very good condition, and then you won't destroy the.
Yeah.
So now we're in the preparation room for the M90 mortar, where the loading frames were preparated with 6 grenades each. These grenades were delivered with red shooting loading inside. The red one means that you can shoot distances between 200 and 600 meters. If you had to use the mortar for short distances, you had to change it to the green loading. They look like some kind of shotgun loadings, and also at this place they turned these caps to make it. I don't know.
The detonator, the impact fuse or timed fuse?
Impact fuse.
Impact fuse.
Impact fuse. There's a kind of needle inside, and there you have a small explosive inside, and this will make the liquid TNT, which has hardened inside here, which make it explode. And it's very important that these grenades are in one straight line. They have a device standing here, which pressed them on both sides so that they were totally in one line, because the weapon was automatically shooting them, and it was very fast. It could shoot 6 of these grenades in 3 seconds if you had the fastest of the possible speeds. And this is the original table for the grenades. It was made by Rheinmetall. Also, the loading frames were made by Rheinmetall, and the weapon itself was made by Rheinmetall. So it was a package of everything the Wehrmacht needed to build fortifications with this weapon, and it was offered by Rheinmetall to the Wehrmacht.
So how many mortar shells would they have in here?
Also, we know that there were 150 of these loading frames, so they could store them preloaded, and normally you have ammunition for 30 days inside those bunkers, but it's not enough space in our ammunition storage room. So maybe they had only the 10 days ammunition, which meant they had 3,900 of these grenades here. But with a firing speed of 120 per minute, it could be gone very, very fast.
I was thinking that, yeah. Once again, something I haven't seen before. So these are the actual shells.
Yes.
Are the
they're empty.
They're empty. Yeah. But are the detonators the original ones as well?
Yes, there are 2 types. The early ones had aluminium detonators, and later on you have plastic.
They actually made plastic detonators?
Yes.
That's brilliant.
So, and these loading frames, they were found somewhere in the dump, and we cleaned them, and now the springs are working again. And this one is in perfect condition. You can also see the mark from the Wehrmacht, and also Rheinmetall as manufacturer.
And
then we have the original table. Panzerwerk 717 made one. I gave them the measurements, and that's the condition in how we found them.
Wow.
And we did not clean everything, but some of them, and yes, they stored the grenades in here. And yes, we're trying to make this room as original as it gets, because we know it's impossible for us or possible to show the details here. We have this original case for the rounds for the shooting range. We have green ones, we have red ones, we have one original cap of those rounds from the island of Jersey. He sent us a copy and we copied it again. We have one lid of those original packets, and this one is also original, and we have people that can make copies of paper, of old paper things. So this is what we do here.
And all the work you guys have put into this. Yeah.
So we have some of the equipment for inside. We have the number circle.
Yeah.
We have the original periscope for mortar. It's really heavy. It's really heavy.
So that the periscope go in the same pit as the mortar?
Yes, yeah.
It does.
You will.
Could we make an exchange where you could make a copy of everything and build one?
My dream is to get the one which is at the Rheinmetall site.
They have the full mortar?
Yes, it does not belong to them.
Oh.
It does belong to the German army, and the German army. It's a little bit complicated to buy Nazi weapons from them.
Yes.
So what you see here is that the mortar could be lifted up to shoot. You have here is the marking for the if it was ready to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the roll of the platform strapping here, and that's the lower part. And it was around 30 centimeters to lift it up to make it ready to shoot.
So it would have to lift up a little and then it would rotate in here?
Yes. So this is an M19 Zielplan. It's we don't have original, but there is a picture of an original Zielplan from another B-werk in Iran. And when the Americans captured this bunker, they made a picture of this Zielplan. So we took an aerial photo of 1939 and also the signatures they used then, and this plan for the B-werk, the surrounding bunkers and possible targets.
Yeah, of course they were pre-targeted everything.
Yes. They predefined some targets and had a list how to set the weapon to to shoot on these targets, and they also had training grenades to shoot on these targets to look if it's the right position they set the weapon.
And we have a technical tunnel underneath us. Is that the electricity for the turret?
No. It's an electric weapon. It was it's automatic. You had an electric motor to use the weapon, but there are also a variation of this weapon, which is with a hand crank and a big
wheel,
heavy wheel as a counterweight, where you crank it and then it will turn, and there had to be a kind of steel bar which is turning. And
okay, so this is where the backup turning mechanism would run through.
But it was never used in the Ostwall and the Westwall, and on the other hand, in the Atlantic War, they did not use the electric motors, but only the hand cranked. So this is how they were stored. They were stored in this closed paper tubes. They have no lids, so you can look inside. And this is the original one. We will see that they have the marking Mun 19 on it. It has a rubber lid, and it's a case to make it airtight and watertight. And this is the version for the troops. They also use the 5 centimeter grenade
in the regular
ones, and this is the one for the troop. But here's a marking für M19. So they use at the end of the war. This is from 1944. They also use this one to bring them to the bunkers because they had a lack of this, or I don't know, it was chaotic maybe.
Well, you don't need to make 10 different types of boxes for the same thing.
Germans are crazy with their boxes. This box is only for the ammunition to stick inside the grenades. Nothing else will fit in there. So in this room we are showing how those equipment looks like after 80 years. Rusty holes inside, and on the other hand the room next to this is fully restored and repainted, so you have to you can see the difference.
The then and now.
Yes.
But I like this. I like that too. That was for ventilation.
Yes, main for the unfiltered air, the main intake.
Was there, so there was, here was the attachment there? That thing?
No. Here there was this thing to close and open it, and nothing was here. There were rifles stored here.
Okay, but there was something between the two pipes. There was that
Only
thing.
this one. Then you have to turn, and then you will open or close it.
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah, and this is the closure for the fighting plate, and it's a gag. You can lift it, but it's very heavy. 108 kilograms.
I know they're. Oh, so nice and clean it is. It's an MG34.
Yes.
Which were absolutely correct and still in use. And there's the dark spot. You can't see the light reflected through when the firing port is open.
Yes. It was started wrong, then painted wrong because it had to be in the corner of the room. But they didn't correct it the third time.
Alright.
So, steel plate, 10 centimeters, which is weak, because for B-werk bunkers they had normally to use 20 centimeter plates with the same alloys as they use for the turrets. This is cheap steel, and it was no problem for British and American tanks to destroy these plates at the end of the war. I'm sure they did not tell this, the soldiers that were fighting here, that they used a weak plate, but they had some supply shortage of the thicker plates, so they used this one, which is on, as I said, 10 centimeters.
Yeah, they were originally much thicker than that. But yeah, you don't want to tell your soldiers that sort of stuff. They don't need to know these things.
Maybe it's because it's the last B-werk they started, and they used plates they had for other projects. So you have those speaking tubes to the guard room in the front of the bunker to tell them, or the other way around, they have to tell the men on the machine gun that those people who are outside are people who belong to the bunker, so they have to have a good communication.
Yeah, this is the close defensive position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the main alarm for the whole bunker. If you crank here, every alarm bell in the bunker will ring up, and also you have the telephone.
That's absolutely brilliant what you guys did.
So this is the emergency lights. If the main light is out, then you have these emergency lights. They are battery powered.
You guys really did a good job of this. So the blue S2A?
Yes, they used...
Room numbers?
No.
Oh, no?
The electricity was 380 watts, which is heavy power, and you have 3 phases of the energy, S, R, and T. And every part of the bunker is connected to one phase, and it has to be weighted so that every phase has the same amount of energy consumption. So we have lots of parts with S. You have a little bit of air because some of the weapons they consume very much energy, so they only 2 or 3 rooms are with the air because the flamethrower needed so much energy. So you have R, S, and T in some weighted balance, and you also have the N, which is normally green, which is the Notlicht with emergency lights. These are 24 volts or battery powered.
So this is all electrician's notes, basically.
Yes. And it makes it easy for us to replace and restore the cables and so on.
That's right.
But it took a lot of time for us to understand all those details. They
figured it out.
They have a lot of time. They had a lot of time inside here. So, flamethrower. You could smell it because there's some.
Yes, the fuel.
Yes, there's some of this
that never goes away from these rooms.
There remains of the fuels on the floor, on the lower, in the room below, and it's sticky. I once had my camera there, and yes, I stood it on the floor, and then there was a plastic cap on the end of the camera, and it was gone. It was sucked inside this sticky oil, and they had to heat it up to make it liquid, so they could throw it outside.
Really?
Yes.
So that's why it was in a canister. They had to heat up the canister?
It was a very complicated system. This was the storage for this flamethrower oil, and then they had this pressure tank where they used liquid nitrogen to produce those pressure they needed, and it was preheated because it was very solid, and it needed to be some kind of liquid like magma or something, so you can throw it these 40 meters, and they ignited it with acetylenium.
Oh, like a torch.
Like a torch, yes. You have here is the original manual, and you see here the acetylenium and all the things you had to maintain. There's a little signs where explosion danger on, and what we know is from other B-werk bunkers, when the B-werker were the people here were not trained on weapons like this or the machine grenade thrower, so we know that they went inside here, smelled a bit, and said, "We don't need this weapon," and closed the door. The concept of this weapon is that there may be some enemy on the rooftop of the bunker, which is nearly impossible because the concept of the Westwall, and we are in the third of 4 consecutive lines, and the first and the second line did not their job if someone gets on the rooftop of this bunker. So it's unnecessary to have a weapon like this, and this is also a remain of their thinking of a Second World War I, which will take place.
Yeah, where you literally sacrifice the first line or two for the rare line that was stronger defended.
But this was in the original planning. The first and second line should be the strongest, and they wanted to build those very heavy fortifications in there, but they did not have the time and the money.
True. So here we always said, here we have, this is the third line of defense.
Yes.
Out of 4.
Yes.
So how far between the first, second, third, where are they?
We are now around 600 meters away from the Saar River. The Saar River means was the anti-tank obstacle used here. They did not use dragon teeth because they had the river. And on the riverbank you have the first line, then you have a railway parallel to the river, then you have the second line, we are in the third. The third is on the slopes of the first hills. Then you have the fourth line, which is not so dense as the others, yes, on the top of the hills, and then you have lots of other bunkers still behind them for ammunition storage and for yes, command. B-werk were top secret throughout the war, and the people know that there were fortifications, but they had no clue about the weapons they used inside here. And after the war, there was a guy with his son coming here in 1936 to find something, because they did not have anything after the war. And the door was closed. And if you want something and the door is closed, the first thing you do is to open the door. But he didn't know that this was the flamethrower room, and those gases of those flamethrower oil concentrated inside this room for about a year. And his only light was an open flame, maybe a candle or something. And when he opened the door, there was an explosion. The door was shut. And here the concrete was flying to him, and he died here.
Yeah.
And throughout the war, we don't know any casualties. And 1 year after the war, the first man dies here, and it's a civilian.
A damn shame. Is that why? That's why the roof is blackened a little bit, isn't it?
No, that's
No?
the second accident.
The second, okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Staircase of the bunker, and as far as we know, it was prepared to build underground tunnels. We have this pipe, which was closed originally, and they could build a connection and let one of these pipes go down, but they prepared them because they had made the same in Ostwall, but on very rare occasions there were tunnels in Westwall B-werks, only 4 or 5, and the rest was without tunnels.
Yeah, and some of them are not very long.
So I have to make the lights on. We'll take
Holy shit, they really did a good job with this. And it looks right. It looks the way it's supposed to. And it's not shielded off, which gives me chills.
For this room we have a so-called star. It's a document where everything is listed, what had to be inside a room like this in a B-werk bunker of the Westwall. And we have a filtering device to filter fresh water. We have a big medicine box with lots of things inside. We had yes, to transport the soldiers, which could be
Collapsed stretchers.
no, you can
Fold it up.
fold it up
Yeah.
in the middle, which was mandatory to get it easier through the doors.
Of course.
This is oxygen,
That's impressive.
and this is the uniform of a lower grade officer for for the
A sanitator.
sanitator. Yes.
Don't tell me it works.
It works, but we won't try it.
Disconnected.
It has disconnected. Yes, it's old.
Is rubber too, isn't it?
Yes. We have to oil it with some. We have some special liquid for rubber to keep it flexible, and it won't break.
Yeah.
So this is the sink for everything you did not want to have in the clean sink. So yes, some liquids and stuff. And it's interesting because this one was used in a public swimming pool for drinking water, and it was not the same, but the same type of sink.
So there's one special for wastewaters and
Yes.
and then there's the other and then there's a big sink for
Yes, and then
yeah.
it can be clean.
Yeah.
For fresh water and everything they used to clean there. And the main task was to make the soldiers ready for transport to the real hospitals in the back.
So even the big bunkers on the east wall had a sanitator room.
Normally they had. But no, there is a speciality. If you have an underground tunnel and underground barracks, you did not need those rooms in the blocks on the top, and you could use the room, and the rooms had to be in the tunnels. So this is other. It's also with the ammunition storage. The whole part of the ammunition in the Ostwall was stored in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Where you can transport them with the trains. We don't have tunnels here, so we have to have everything here on this
One fort.
this floor and on our 2 floors, and also the engines for the electricity we have here.
That's what I thought it was.
This is a Minimax fire extinguisher. It's interesting is that it's the same company that helped the Wehrmacht to construct the Flamethrower.
A pressure tank is a pressure tank.
Yes, yes. And, this is the B10, which was commonly used at this time, and this is the one painted in ivory, bright ivory. It's every color had a code. This is bright ivory 1015. This is normal ivory 1014. And this one in 1015 was mainly used in hospitals. And yes, I found it on eBay, and I thought would be nice to have it instead of the red version of this one, because it looks nicer in a hospital room.
And everybody sees the red version. I saw them in the Franco-Prussian forts. And I really like the fire extinguishers. I always like those. The little things of history that are just special.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see the blue electrician's designation under the lamps. Well done.
One of the rare occasions we have a T.
A T.
T is for the pressure tank for the wastewater. T is for the well, and lots of things that needed a lot of electricity. So T is very rare in normal rooms.
The pressure tank for the wastewater?
Yes, they added the wastewater to get it out of the bunker with pressure. So because we are below the level of the Saar River, this painting is there. You have a steel helmet. Behind the steel helmet, there's a sword, and then you have this. I don't know how the
Laurel.
Lorbeer.
Yeah, laurel.
Laurel, and then you have those German colors, white, red, and black. And in German, this motif has the name Schutz und Trutz for Deutschland, which means security and strength for Germany. And it should remember the soldiers here, why they are hurt, why they are hurt, and what they are fighting for. Everything we find. In the beginning we did restore it, but now we are. It's normal for us not to restore it because it's original.
You're preserving it, yeah. Yes. And I think sometimes preservation is more important than restoration, because with restoration, you get to destroy things in order to save the look of them.
So let's go to the kitchen.
Of course, let's go to the kitchen.
I think we never saw such a B-werk kitchen like this one.
Well, I haven't seen any B-werk kitchen, so no, you're correct.
I will. Maybe afterwards.
The French are coming. Yes, this would officially be the first B-werk kitchen we've seen on the show.
So this is the original cooking device we had here in the B-werk. It was an electrical device. It had 2 walls, and between these 2 walls there was water under pressure, so you can overheat it over 100 degrees. It's like predecessor of the pressure cooking devices. And you can crank it, and it will turn, and you can make soups or something. And it was here throughout the war. And in 1938, a farmer of the village of Westwall took it with him, and he cooked to feed his cattle, and also to wash his clothes. And in 2005 he brought it back to us. And this is also the original manual, and there's also mentioned which products from which companies you should use to clean it. Everything has a number, and everything has to be all right in Germany.
Ordnung muss sein. That's brilliant. That's just like the new evolution of the old 1870 cookers in the Prussian forts.
Yes.
Just smaller. It wouldn't need to be that big.
You had 2 of them.
We had 2 of them?
Yes. One here and one here.
And how many people in the B-werk? 40?
90.
90?
Yes.
Wow. Does that include the men on the perimeter defense outside, or just inside the fort?
No, only to maintain the B-werk and the weapons.
Really?
Yes, 90 soldiers.
That's a lot.
They needed around 40 or 45, and they had 2 shifts. They had special fortress troops, and it was impossible to use the B-werk in its full strength if you don't have this amount of soldiers.
True.
The storage room for the food, and it's emptier than it should have been, because 90 soldiers and food for 30 days, so it should be full.
Yeah. He said it really is a battleship. So did you find originals and then some of them are remakes? Did you make copies of some of these, or is it all original?
The backs are original and the rest are copies, because it's there are books where you can see how those paper sheets looked, and then we reconstructed them and let them rust so they look like they're old.
So did you find any World War II cigars yet? You know, the German army had cigars with a little eagle around on the band.
No, they are all original. You will find them a lot, but mostly they're scratched, those cigars. And Normally the Wehrmacht bought this by the normal manufacturer companies and stamped it. But some things were
These I know.
This is Reichsarbeitsdienst.
Yes.
Reichsarbeitsdienst.
I find these in the woods a lot. So now I know what to compare them to. I always thought these big mugs were modern design when I found them, until I found out that they actually weren't.
This is for governmental stuff.
I mean, you must have a government-issued sauce tureen. I mean, come on. What kind of government wouldn't have their own saucepan? Yeah. By Siemens, of course.
Yeah,
Who else?
This one is too new. Maybe it's from the 1950s. It's from Siemens.
Yeah.
Siemens Schuckert or Siemens Heizke. Well, let's look. Siemens Electric. But it should be double the size, twice the size. And this one is too new. But we don't have an original one.
Well, Siemens didn't have a whole lot of stuff left after. Right.
So here are the engine rooms. We had two 4-stroke engines with 34 horsepower each, which meant an electrical production of around 26 kilowatts. And they were made by the German company MWM for Mannheim. And it was the model MWM GS 215V. And the electrical generators were made by AEG or Siemens, we don't know. There was no connection to the fuel tank. You had to fill up a tank for 1 day with the fuel and place it here. And then you have to pump it inside the engines. There were lots of cables inside and lots of devices for ventilation here, to transform to 220 volts and to transform to 24 volts for the batteries. And we also had a second floor here. There was the tank for the cooling water, 8,000 liters. Then you have the primary air intake for the central ventilation of the B-werk bunker, where you had big filters, 1.1 meters in height and 80 centimeters in circumference, and there were 5 of them standing up here, 4 to use, 1 to replace, and a 6th one also in storage. And yes, there was lots of things, and they had 2 persons which were mechanics to maintain these 2 rooms. And there is 1 room below which can only be reached by a ladder. And there's 1 room underneath the entrance, the place before, in front of the bunker, and there was a well, and they dig a hole 40 meters deep to get to the groundwater, and it was an electrical pump to pump it up, and they had a storage of 18,000 liters, which meant if they could only, if they had to use these 18,000 liters, it meant for 90 soldiers in 30 days 200 liters per day per person. And there was an electrical contact which was connected to the well, and if the water level was too low, it automatically pumped more water up.
Someone stole the engines. How did they get them out?
One was brought to America, another one was gifted by the Americans to a local company. Problem is that those engines were outdated, even in 1938 when they used them. They used engines which were very heavy, which couldn't be used at this time for vehicles, so they used them here. So they are lost, and the interesting thing is that which type of engine you use was depending on the height of the entrance door. The engine was 78 centimeters in width and 1.04 centimeters in height, and the door was 1.10 centimeters in height, so we had a little of 6 centimeters in height and 2 centimeters in width to transport this engine out of the bunker.
So when they built the bunker, did they put the engines in during construction, or did they finish and then bring in the engines?
I think it was easier for them to bring them in construction, but this whole thing of the second floor was made after they built the upper floor. So maybe they brought them in, and they are heavy, a half ton, 500 kilograms. So yeah.
I wonder if Toot wrote everything down, so you would wonder if.
Oh, we have lots of documents, 10,000 of sheets, but the construction of a B-werk bunker is. Maybe I didn't find it yet.
Is this the only escape?
Yeah, one of two.
One or two, okay.
One on each side of the bunker.
I would have imagined. What's that pipe?
Exhaust.
Exhaust, okay, yes. Of course, yeah.
It will get hot, and so you have this flexible part in the middle. So, let's talk about this pipe.
Right.
This is the original pipe, which was here during the war, and in 1957 the owner of the cinema of Besseringen built a new cinema, and he asked the city of Merzig if he could have these pipes. And when the cinema burned down 20 years ago, someone remembered that those pipes that are lying there are the pipes from the B-werk bunker, and so we get them back, and yes, they're good. And we welded them with big welding nuts, so it looks like the original welding. Because I think this maybe may not have been welded only here, and it was an interesting experience to bring this thing back.
That's amazing. I mean, the details you guys have gone to.
They were fitted here inside for this bunker.
Yeah.
So, it was really clear which part was. So this is the CO2 extinguisher for the fuel tank. There is a candle wax, a strip of candle wax inside, and around 70 degrees it will
melt.
It will melt, and it's connected to this counterweight. This counterweight is connected to two rods, and it will come down and will open the bottle, which is always under pressure, and this will fill the room with CO2, and then the fire will go out. Interesting thing is, we did not know that until a fire extinguisher collector joined our crew, and he said, "Oh, I know this. This is a CO2 extinguisher." And we said, "How do we know?" "We have the same one in a factory hall, which will be demolished soon, and I will bring it with me." And he brought this one, which did perfectly fit. And the interesting thing is that the bottle was the last control date of this bottle was 1938. And today CO2 bottles are green, so this is the old color for this bottle.
Wow. That is just another thing I didn't know. I love when I learn things. So I see holders for a tank.
Washing room.
Washing room.
They had no showers. They had big sinks along the wall with the pipes for the water. They only had cold water and had one tank to heat up hot water. It only had 100 liters, and I think when the higher grade officers were finished, then the normal soldier only. But cold water.
Yeah, 100 liters for 90 people is not going to last very far.
No, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
So you can see where the mirrors to shave your tank, and the raw room was the raw water was running to the middle of the room.
And ventilation? No, it's not cables, it's cables.
Cables everywhere.
Of course.
We love cables. 4 toilets. There were no cabins or something. You did not use cabins in fortifications because they told me at the Maginot Line they only had these half doors because of suicides in the toilet rooms. And but you only you had to have one toilet here for the small.
Oh, for the urinals.
For the one urinal. I think.
Yeah.
One big. Yes.
It's funny. I saw these 2 days ago in a Franco-Prussian war in 1885 fort. I saw one of these.
These 3 were found here in the bunker, and this is from another B-werk, but it's
the same design.
Nearly the same. This may be a little bit older, and this is a simplified design with only this one had 2. This is for the waste cooling water of the engines.
So this used to be a reservoir?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So is there drainage to the local sewer from here, or?
No, to the river.
To the river?
Yes.
Oh well. That wouldn't work today.
No. So in this room you will notice those things, and for the upper floor we have a plan where the function of every room is mentioned. For the lower floor this one is missing, so we only can guess what this room was. Maybe there was a lower grade officer which had the documents for the personnel and something. Also we had here maybe the day tasks. On this one is original. And what is interesting in this room is that we found this pole under the paintings. So it was overpainted at some time of the use of the B-werk, which is really strange. But if you read the poem, you will notice some things, like in the 5th line. It says, "Call me Mad Dog instead of Heil Hitler if you want to make a joke." And also in the last, in the 7th line, you said, "If you yet call," how do I translate it?
Du schön Heil Hitler sagst, dann bin ich ehrlich.
So if you want to say Heil Hitler, then do it truly from your heart. But in German, you see the word schon, which meant, which could mean that the one who painted this poem did not take it necessary to say Heil Hitler. So we truly believe it was a Nazi who painted this, but a better Nazi a few years later overpainted it.
So what was over it?
Huh?
What was over it?
Those.
Those?
Yes.
So we're back to this mysterious alien design.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of... Was there color between it? Do you think it was just a... This is so unlike that period. I mean...
Yeah, it has a taste of a
Art
German
Nouveau.
imperial fort from the
Really?
from the time of 1900 or 19 to 1940. They use some of these inscriptions, and it's like a typical German canvas in a living room. All the fortifications are in Bauhaus style, which the Nazis hated.
I think you can. I don't think that's entirely wrong. Wow. Huh. This is nice. And there's the other emergency exit.
Yes, it's the official emergency exit for the museum.
Oh, right, good. You have to. Is it full of sand then?
No.
Oh. I mean, I insist, if I have to escape a bunker, I do insist I have to dig my way through all the sand first. I just wouldn't be the same. Did such a damn good job of this. And the colors are right. You're right, there really are cables everywhere. Okay, also the chairs in different colors.
Yes, these are copies, these are originals. They are colored post-war, I don't know. So you have always 3 beds. The lowest bed has steel springs to sit on. The other 2 have this
Ropes, ropes, yeah.
hemp or sisal, and on the day those were folded on the wall, and only this one to sit down, and at the night you have 3 beds to sleep.
You really did a good job on this.
Yeah,
So, original rubber?
yes.
Hey, I knew it was.
It's still airtight, I can show you. So normally they had the central ventilation, but they could also use the normal ventilation system with the crank. But in B-werk bunkers we did not have to crank because we had little motors, little electrical motors on our ventilation system, and I can show you. This is the bigger version called HES 2.4, which means that it will bring 2.4 cubic meters clean air per minute inside this room.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's still running.
Yeah, it's running.
So, to make the room airtight, I have to close the central ventilation. The only place where the air can go outside this room is this overpressure ventile, and if I keep it closed you will see the force of the air. Will press it down, so the air is going out there, but if I open the door the air will go through the door. But here's the rubber. If I close the door, this one will open again. And you
Yeah,
see,
it does.
This room is airtight.
But that's not all I noticed. Because as I stood here by the door, I noticed something else. As I was standing here, next to the bunker oven, my leg was getting warm.
Yes, it's still working.
It is still working. The bunker oven is actually working. Oh, the bunker is not a bunker oven, it's a radiator. Come on. That's brilliant.
Flashlight.
Okay. Tell them. Oh God, I remember those from. That's the thing. Yeah. It's the next evolution. They gave us these in the army when I started. Very nice.
So, 12 soldiers were in here, and we tried to get everything 12 times. 12 rifles, 12 bags, 12 helmets, and 12 gas masks, and so on.
I'm impressed. Ooh. More boxes.
Yes. This was the main storage room for the ammunition. For 10 days ammunition, if they store 10 days of ammunition to fight 10 days, they should have 6,250 rounds per day per machine gun, 4,200 for the entrance defense machine gun, and also 300 per day for the grenade thrower, and lots of 9mm for the MP38 and for the Luger pistols and all they had. And they stored hand grenades, and at the end of the war they also stored 8 of these Panzerfaust inside every B-werk bunker, so 2 boxes of them. So it may be one of the biggest collections of Luftdichterpatronenkasten in the world, but it's only it's a little part of what they really stored inside here. This room was full of these boxes. We come to a total of 375,000 rounds, 7.92 millimeters. In these boxes of 1,500 each, in 3 paper boxes with 5 paper boxes with 300 each. So this is these are maybe 51 boxes, and they were standing up to here and to the rooftop, and also they needed 120 from of these 19 boxes, which were the special boxes for the M19 Mortar. Yes. This is definitely the biggest collection of Mod 19 boxes in the world. I doubt you ever see a single one before.
I don't remember ever seeing one now, you're right.
Use this this paper. This is a special paper which will get patina in record time. We stick them 2 years ago, and yeah, it will come more yellowish. And we also had a fire prevention system here based on water, just to prevent a fire in this room.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, based on water.
Yes.
Oh, so you, through the...
You had a water pipe here, and at 70 degrees, yeah, like in a modern airport or shopping center, you have those water sprinklers here.
Yeah.
And you have a second line. If this one was not working, you could open this, but you had to do this by hand in front of the room.
Okay.
So this is the reason why the ammunition room is between the two sleeping rooms. So you don't lose time to open the second pipe and to prevent a fire here.
What is this?
Ventilation.
That's the bottom of the ventilation room.
Yes, the room upstairs. It's the second preparation room for the grenade thrower is ventilated here. We don't know why. Maybe because a lack of space on the upper floor, but it's ventilated from here.
Interesting.
Yes.
Strange. Strange but interesting.
But in every Westwall B-werk bunker I wear, it's the same. We have a list of all known civilians which died during the war because of fire, of found ammunition, of landmines and so on. And also we have a second accident which happened in this room in 1947 where two young people died, 17 and 25 years old. They were here inside the bunker to collect metal, and one of the two found mortar grenade and said to the other one, "Get me something to hit this grenade. This will be no problem, and I will defuse it with it." So the 17-year-old took the crank of a ventilation device. He hit the grenade and it exploded, and they both died here.
Yeah, shocking. So that's where that shrapnel came from.
Yes.
I mean, he knew what it was.
Yes.
Jeez. It's just not the same to see one in one piece. I'm so used to seeing them all destroyed and broken up. So you closed off the room for the tank for the flamethrower?
No, you cannot come to the flamethrower room only from upstairs. It's
Okay.
behind this wall.
Oh, right. It's really an impressive job you guys did.
These are pioneer tools, like scissors for barbed wire and something. Everything they could use outside if they want to fight.
Yeah.
There must be, yeah.
You said you had 600 other bunkers here in town to show me.
Yes, I have thoughts to build a new.
Now I hope you have all learned something, and if you are ever in this area, do make a point of visiting here. Also, there are hundreds of more intact bunkers in the area, not destroyed after the war, but none restored like this. And together we did go on a little field trip and visited some of them after. And next here on the channel, we will go through a restored Molotov line bunker and a restored Polish 1939 bunker. And then we can compare all of the great World War II bunkers. My name is Tino Struckmann. I run Lost Battlefields. Every year I travel around the world to try to bring you to all the most interesting historical military locations from modern wars and the World War II special projects, battlefields, forts, fortresses and tunnels, everything else. Things you may not be able to see or go to yourselves. Please join me on Patreon or join Lost Battlefields through the website so you get access to all my files and my notes. It really does help, and like, follow, share here on the channel if you can. That helps too.